Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Rosie here, and I play Dead by Daylight, so you don't have to. A fact that I don't think is going to be changing anytime soon after reading this mid-chapter patch. Ladies and gentlemen, do you think it's any better? Do you think the game's getting better due to this mid-chapter patch? Do you think that proper adjustments were given in a fair 50-50 fashion? Do you think that we got as much as they did? Oh, if you think that, lads, oh, come on, bro. You know what game we play. We know who left the company. We knew that Killer was dead the second that Patrick left. We knew that. And we knew that Killer was especially dead after that the fucking healing changes did not go through. When those healing changes did not go through, MMR died, ladies and gentlemen. It was dead as disco. Dead. And, like, I don't know how many times I have to keep saying this, but I feel like I have to keep saying it because they still call the thing in the game right now skill-based matchmaking, and like, oh my god, we're gonna get very powerful data and analysis from this. That is not what this is. I have to keep stressing that, dude. Now, again, they did just do a cap adjustment. You feel it in your matches right now. They just did a cap adjustment. The survivors in the game are more difficult to deal with right now because you're having to deal with the game's balance a bit more because it feels like they just did a cap adjustment. So Swift is getting in the game a little bit more frequently. That is true. Bad news for you going into this next set of tweaks here. Because you think you got something good? No! Let's get this heap of shit moving, lads. So, it might come under the impression that this is a big patch. Apparently, I mean, look at all the shit here, bro. Look at all the perks. Holy shit, look at the killers. This is a big update. Wow! We're eating good right now! What they're neglecting to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, is that what you're eating is Taco Bell. It's gonna come out the other end very quickly. That's what they're neglecting to tell you when they say we're eating good with this patch. You're eating Taco Bell. Have fun on the toilet the next 5 hours. So let's get moving here, lads. The only way to do it's to do it. So let's do it. Finishing Mori. The killer can now perform a Mori on the final survivor without using an offering. What you waited fucking 2 years for! Oh, we made the yellow one base! That's the new mechanic, guys! Now, we've covered this on my streams. We've covered it in my last video. This is not a buffed killer. This is not a buff. This isn't a buff, lads. If you want to understand why this is not a buff, read the dev's explanation as to why leverage is bad again. I can't believe I even have to say this, but people in my comment section when I said this wasn't a buff in my last video actually bitched at me and said it was. This is not a buff because the game is over. The game is over already. And it is the final survivor, so that thing we were speculating about maybe you would get to choose when to do Mori and force the game to end, that's not happening either. It's literally just kill the last guy. Trash. That doesn't help you. Look at this, and the worst part about this is, look at the dev note. When the finishing Mori system was tested previously, many found that it and the surrounding gameplay changes had too large of an impact on the match. We have scaled back the system to better suit what players expected from it. What did you just read there, lads? What you just read there was the last vestiges of the early game mechanic that were promised back in 2020 are dead. That is what you just read. They've said early game mechanic was announced in 2020. Then they said, oh, early game mechanic isn't happening. Prototypes of the early game mechanic have been wrapped up into the Mori system. And then they said that Mori system when it was tested, had too much of an impact on the match, so we scrapped it and just gave Cypress base. Let me translate that for you, ladies and gentlemen. The finisher Mori system, the Mori system in its previous incarnation, likely designed by a man by the name of Patrick, was gonna be too much of a buff for Killer. Killer was going to receive an actual decent buff that allowed them to compete. So you know what that means? Scrapped, trashed, gone. Too large of an impact. Too large of an impact. You know, Debs that fucking wrote, Penitus who wrote this, whatever, Almo, you don't have to worry about anything ever being too large of an impact downstairs, if you know what I'm saying. Hunks of garbage, bro. Terrible. Absolutely fucking awful. So, as you see there, the finisher Mori turned out to be a bunch of nothing. Cypress base, bro. Should have been implemented fucking 5 years ago. Trash. So again, major disappointment there. Good job, Debs. Took you 8 years to implement that. Congratulations. So, let's just go ahead and get this shit moving right away here. We got a lot to go over here, lads. We got a lot. We got a lot of fucking shit to get to. They actually bothered to hit both sides a little more this time, but that don't mean we were treated equally. Shit, bro. Fuck. What did we get? So we'll start with these teamwork perks, bro. Teamwork power of 2. This is the one that, like, it's kind of like that blood, the obsession one that Cheryl has. Bro, there's so many fucking perks, I'm starting to fucking forget them all. It's not blood favor, that's it's blood pack, that's what it's called. It's the one that gives a speed boost when you're, like, near each other or some shit. So obviously it was garbage, and so they're buffing it. The effect lingers a few more seconds out of range. Re-entering the range will maintain the effects. Increase the range to 16 meters. And it doesn't have a cooldown, and no longer deactivates when either survivor loses a health state. So they basically just got rid of all the limitations on this fucking thing because it's a hunk of shit. Is it going to be good? No, it's just going to be some trash gimmick cheese. It is haste, though, so... But, like, you have to sacrifice a lot of gen efficiency, so... Teamwork collective stealth, bro. What the fuck? Teamwork collective stealth. I don't even remember what the fuck this one does. Hold on, let's check, bro. What does teamwork collective stealth even do? I don't even remember what the fuck this one does. See, there's too many of these perks, bro. Teamwork collective stealth, bro. Suppresses your scratch marks when you stay together. Okay. It's lucky break when you're together. So the effect lingers a few more seconds when out of range. Same thing. They gave them the same buffs. I mean, they're trash perks, so who cares? Corrective action. Now applies to survivors within 8 meters. Oh, okay. Prevented failed skill. So now it applies to healing is what that means. Prevented failed skill checks from now change. Prevented failed skill checks now become great skill checks was good skill checks. Corrective action previously only prevented progress loss when other survivors miss skill checks. This can be great when playing with a friend, but not very useful. We have changed the result to a great skill check to provide a marginal progress boost whenever the perk activates, giving it some value in higher end matches. Why? So basically, ladies and gentlemen, what you just learned there is that corrective... Oh, shit, bro. Failed skill checks now become great skill checks. That means you can hit a great skill check just by fucking up now. But yeah, tell me more about why the killer should have so much skill in just everything that we do. And just every single action that we take in the game should have so much skill. And you're worried about the skill cap between killer and survivor. That's what you're worried about, bro. Tell me more about that. Tell me more about it, dude. I want to know everything you got to say about it, bro. And then there's that weird interaction. What? Isn't there a perk called, like... Hold on. Isn't there, like, a fucking perk called hyperfocus or something? Succeeding in a great skill check decreases the kill structure. Increases the skill check bonus progression by 30% of its base value per token. Oh, that's gonna be fun. Look at that combo, guys. You can combo fucking the new fucking corrective action with hyperfocus to get it on. To just get free fucking hyper focus stacks, dude. And then you're up to 6, 180, oh, trash, dude. Oh, and that's what's gonna be better is Swift's gonna stack that. You're gonna wish prove thyself was meta again. You're gonna wish prove thyself was back in the game. Oh, but by the way, your regression perks, they gotta go. They're too good. They're too good, but here's a free fucking gen combo. Absolutely awful. Inner focus. Increase the aura reading duration 10 seconds plus 5 seconds. 32 meters of a survivor loses a health state, meaning you would know where the killer is anyway. We have removed this condition. This will make inner focus useful too, because you're keeping track of the killer's whereabouts, that they can then comm to their friends on their comm, survive with friends. That's usable. We're gonna live forever. Oh, let's check this one out, guys. Increased healing speed bonus to 150 was 100. Oh, cool. Endurance effect no longer needs to be activated. No more activation condition. Oh, excellent. Added a 30-second cooldown. Oh, excellent. Oh, just excellent. So now when you pick somebody up, they get the for the people buckle up shenanigans. They get to give somebody on the ground endurance without an activation condition. Oh, that's excellent, bro. That's just excellent. By the way, if you use for the people we're gonna live forever and made for this 3 perks in your build there, you get old for the people buckle up. Oh, that's great. You can't even be mad about this shit, bro. Bro, if you're mad about this in 2024, bro, you gotta see the writing on the wall. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. Killer players, they don't give a fuck about you. For the people buckle up is back. Yes, it's 3 slots now. Just run that in an exhaustion perk and you're good. You Gucci. You Gucci. Excellent, bro. Just run that in fucking Dead Hard or Life and you're good. That could be working. That could be useful with a survivor with friends who is a good kiter. Hell, just fucking people have to treat OTR as base 90% of the time anyway. Trash. Or even just run OTR. You don't even bring an exhaustion perk. Rely on your teammates to help you stop the tunnel. Oh, this is bad, dude. Yeah, that's gonna be really good. That's broken. Oh no, let's keep on going. Poised. When you start repairing a generator, you see the killer's aura for 6 seconds. Fuck you, stealthy approach.
But Rosie, it won't affect the actual stealth killers because they're undetectable, man.
Yeah, but who cares, bro? You still get to see the killer, which you can again tell your friends on the comm link. Oh god. I mean, again, this stuff is all usable, bro. It's all usable. Top tier meta OP, it's all not. But it's still good. Oh. Ooh. Blood Rush. Blood Rush! Major update! Oh boy, let's read it. Blood Rush now activates for 60 seconds after being unhooked. Oh, excellent. That's a good start right there, killer players. What does that mean? 60 seconds off unhook. That means it's anti-tunnel. Oh boy, let's see what they did. Blood Rush deactivates appointment conspicuous action. Blood Rush now deactivates when the gates are powered. Blood Rush no longer heals or provides the broken status effect. We have simplified it to focus on the exhaustion recovery, which tended to be the main appeal. Oh boy, that's cool. To allow this effect to happen more often. Oh, what effect, bro? What effect are you talking about? In case everybody forgot, the Blood Rush means that causes the broken, but while you are automatically healed back to healthy. Where is it? Oh, where's the actual effect? Oh, pressing the active ability button to lose a health state instantly recover from the exhausted status effect. Oh, excellent. Which means you can chase them and they get double fucking exhaustion if you try to tunnel them. Which, by the way, is the meta right now. 2 lights, 2 dead hard attempts, 2 sprint bursts. Oh boy. Oh, hell yeah, dude. 2 balance landings. But balance landing into go up and then use balance landing again. Ah, shit, dude. Oh, so are you guys keeping track so far? You got a slugging nerf, and you got a tunneling nerf. I sure hope they don't nerf your 4v1 pressure in any way, shape, or form, because that would be just awful. That would mean all of your main ways to win the game are nerfed. Sure hope that didn't happen this patch. That would be bad. Let's keep going. Quick gambit. When chased, see the aura of other survivors. Oh, you get to see your fucking team with this. 60-second cooldown upon losing a health state. Reduce repair speed bonus to 5%. Oh, who cares? That's a net gain because the whole... Repair speed bonus no longer has a limited range. That's a net bonus for survivors overall. Get any benefit. This was obvious. Repeaters required survivors to lead the killer toward the gen in order to get any benefit. This was risky and resulted in the killer chasing those survivors instead. Has a range requirement. So you could do the opposite, keep the killer away from them. Which means, ladies and gentlemen, all you get to, when you are in chase... when you're in chase as a survivor, the entire team's aura lights up, and they instantly all get a 5% fucking generator repair buff. Oh, shit, you have to love it. You gotta love it, bro. This is all fair. By the way, how's that Scourge Hook Pain Rezo nerf feeling? How's that Pop Goes the Weasel nerf feeling right now? Your shit's gone, but they get a whole bunch of options to make them go faster. That's cool. Fair and balanced gameplay. Maybe they buff Pop Goes the Weasel in this patch. No. Distortion. Oh, this is my favorite change of the patch. Not because of what it is, just because of the impact it's having. Distortion no longer has tokens and instead deactivates one until the next time you are chased. So that means, okay, Distortion starts the match active. Let's say the killer has LP. And once the killer has LP, it immediately is burned and goes away, and it doesn't reactivate until you are chased. And then you get another token, which presumably deactivates the perk until you're chased again. Okay. First of all, that's not completely dead. There's some stuff you can do with that. If you can, it's probably worse. I mean, it's definitely worse, but it's not totally completely dead. Because, you still get an anti-aura effect. It's not just, it doesn't just reward cowardly players anymore, because you have to, get chased. But, and it will also probably be less prevalent throughout the match, presumably, unless you're, getting in chase and the killer's running something like Compound 20 sub 2 was Blight or some fucking shit, where it's you're going on, you're reactivating it off and on over and over again, or the Clown's add-on with the bottles, that could proc this over and over again. If you're running, Barbecue and Chili or something, presumably you'll it's not gonna just be a full direct counter to that shit anymore. It feels like it should be worse compared to what it is right now, but it doesn't seem totally dead. However, the response to this perk being changed by the survivor community has been absolutely fucking hysterical. Because if you go and you read responses to this patch on all of the forums, it's not me that's bitching, it's the survivors. Survivors are really fucking pissed that this perk got changed. This, ladies and gentlemen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. After reading 8 buffs, a lot of which are good, they're not meta, but a lot of which are good. Blood Rush could be high tier now. We're Gonna Live Forever is gonna be high tier now. Those 2 perks are gonna be especially good and relevant. Quick Gambit's gonna be good. We talked about the Gens shit already. They got a lot of usable shit here. On the 9th fucking perk. The 9th perk. Almost double digits. On the 9th fucking perk of the patch, they finally get a moderate nerf to something that's too good right now. And it's been too good for a while. And they are flooding the devs comment section with bitching about this low skill, anti-coward, pro-coward perk. This perk rewards you for playing like a cowardly punk bitch. Whoever runs this perk has a vagina. That's what's going on here. Pussies run this perk, bro. And they're all bitching. Like, they didn't just get fucking 8 buffs. Like, For the People Buckle Up isn't back. Like, all this ridiculous shit isn't back. It's back, bro. You get a fucking moderate nerf and you bitch about it? Suck my dick, survivors. Ridiculous. Grow the fuck up and learn, actually read the patch. They gave you a fucking blowjob with the fucking 8 fucking prior changes. You're gonna bitch about one moderate nerf? Get the fuck out of here. Clowns, bro. Clown show on the survivors, bro. Survivors are clowns, bro. Fuck off with that. This perk needed a nerf. Lucky Star now suppresses grunts of pain and pools of blood as long as you're in the locker. This effect lingers for 30 seconds after exiting the locker. What? Herman in my server's like, oh, it's Iron Will, bro. It's Iron Will and, okay, it's not quite Lucky Bright, but it suppresses the blood pools as well. It suppresses blood pools. So it does a little more than just Iron Will by itself. I mean, it's not going to be top tier broken OP, especially since you have to enter a locker, presumably, like, kind of in chase. But, like, it's not going to be that good, but, like, I mean, it's not horrible, I guess. It's the worst thing we've read so far. So there you go, on the survivor end. Terrible. Just, they got way too much shit that's good. That's good. It's all good, bro. And yeah, and I were talking. Yeah, 130. My server doesn't really comment or come on my streams very much, but in my server he can be active from time to time. He's an Identity 5 player that played Gamekeeper, was pretty good at Gamekeeper as well. But I believe he's very like a top Gamekeeper player in the NAU server, so like he was pretty good, fucking good at the character. He made the point that perk variety is not a bad thing, and it's not. It's not a bad thing. Like a lot of these perks aren't really like. It's okay that a lot of this stuff is good. It's just okay. Like they're allowed to have options, and it's like we did all that bitching. The worst thing of the patch, I don't even mind Blood Rush too much. The thing that I don't like Blood Rush, but like the thing that pisses me off that really shouldn't get in the game is We're Gonna Live Forever, because that invites For the People Buckle Up back into the game. But, I mean, a lot of this other shit, like, it's good, but it's like, it's not inherently flawed. The problem with the game right now is that there is a severe balance issue in the game right now. A severe fucking balance issue. This is the weakest killer has been in years. This is the weakest killer has been since the God Loops have been in the game. It is. This is the weakest killer has been for a long time. This killer needs a buff right now. A big one. The only build in this game that works against Swift right now is Endgame. It's the only one. And even then, because they introduced an anti-tunnel option, that build is now worse too, because you have to tunnel somebody out. So Endgame is worse than it will be before you get in. Before this all gets in. It's going to be worse when it goes in. Not by much, but it's still worse nonetheless. All the killer perks right now are bad, and they don't help you. They don't help you. So to see survivors getting all of these options that shows you the devs know how to design something okay, it's frustrating as a killer player. Because then you're going to let's go read the shit we got. Do you think it's half as good? Do you think it's half as good? Do you think we got half the usable options that they got? Hell no. To the no. Hell no. All of our shit sucks, bro. What do you expect? Let's read it. Genetic limits. Anytime a survivor loses a health state, they suffer from the exhaustion for 8 seconds. Okay, you don't counter sprint burst. That sucks right away. So, you're what? You're countering what? What are you countering, bro? Life? You're going to counter life. I'm going to bring in a perk to counter life and balance landing. The problem with these exhaustion perks, okay? The thing that people might forget is, like, a lot of this exhaustion shit, like, if this perk came in the game 2 years ago, we would have all been... Like, that's what we would have been doing 2 years ago. But the problem with that 2 years ago was that 2 to 3 years ago, not even, it's like 3 years ago at this point, right? The Dead Hard change has been in the game for a while. If this came in the game 3 years ago, we would have all been, woo! But we're not going, woo! Because, Dead Hard's a lot worse now. Yes, it's a lot worse. It's still good, and one Dead Hard can kill you. It's still A tier, still B plus, A minus tier, perk. B minus, B plus to A plus, somewhere in that range. It's still a really good perk, don't get me wrong. But, however, y'all don't understand how bad this shit used to be. Dead Hard was everywhere. It was, Dead Hard, every survivor had it every single game. It was everywhere. It was everywhere, and you had to prepare around it. That ain't the case anymore. Dead Hard's not everywhere. And even if it is everywhere, you can counter it by smacking them off hook, which is beside the point. But, so, like, you're not running things just to counter Dead Hard anymore. When Dead Hard was double S, because that's what it was, Dead Hard was double S tier, it was better than everything else in the game by 2 tiers. Double S. That perk needed to go. Like, you had to run shit to counter it. But, like, Lithe and Balance Landing, because, again, you don't counter Sprint Burst with this because you have to take a Hell State. Like, your Lithe, Balance Landing, Head On, Overcome, like, all this other shit, you're not bringing perk slots to counter that. And things like Lithe and Overcome, Hold W perks, a lot of killers have answers to Hold W now. Dredge, Wesker, Spirit and Nurse obviously still do. Dracula is bad, even though Dracula's not that good. Trashularity, Twins, obviously. A lot of these good killers, they have answers to Hold W. Hold W beats M1. So what I'm trying to say is that Lithe isn't as good against some of these top tier killers. It's not as good against, like, a Trashularity. Like, there's a lot of killers it doesn't really do a whole lot against. So, what I'm saying is that the exhaustion status effect as a whole has gone down in value since Dead Hard's destruction. Destruction. Since Dead Hard was pantsed, if you will, and it's not there anymore for the most part, you don't really need a lot of the exhaustion status effects anymore. They can be nice, but the problem is the gens are still fucking going 25,000 miles an hour. Gens are getting faster and faster, not because it's quicker to do gens, but because, number one, the perks are getting good again, and you've lost all your options to control them. So the gens are going to go faster and faster than ever, debatably, because this is the weakest your gen meta has been. So the gens are flying faster now than ever, even though they have a longer time to do them. Because you've lost everything to control them. Everything that Patrick fucking put in the game for you isn't there anymore. Think about it. Everything that Patrick gave you is dead. Call of Brine is dead. Scorchhook is nerfed. Pop is gone. All this shit is gone. All the shit's gone.
Oh, but Rosie, we still have Jetman Switch.
Oh, do you?
Spoilers!
Yeah, so what I'm trying to say here is that genetic limits isn't good because the exhaustion status effect has gone down in value. It's gone down in value. You don't need this anymore. It's not good anymore. And in this meta, that's why they're giving it this change. It's not good anymore. They would have never put this in the game when Dead Hard was prevalent. Never. If this came out 3 years ago, it's meta. In today's world, it's not that good. Leverage. Oh, this disappointed me. I actually ran leverage for a little bit, and I could, like, leverage sloppy, I could definitely see the appeal of that, but, so I'm like, oh, maybe once you get a 60-second duration increase here. Like, you know what I'm trying to say here? Like, you could see the appeal, and I'm like, once you get that 60-second duration in there, maybe it'll be alright. Like, you know what I'm, like, maybe it will be, leverage with sloppy could be a decent anti-healing setup. So I'm like, okay, I can't wait for that duration effect to get in. Oh no, that ain't what they did! That ain't what they did! Rework. When a survivor performs an unhook, so when they have will make it, their healing speed is reduced by 50% for 30 seconds. What?
But Rosie, man, you get full leverage stacks right away after one hook, man.
Bruh. So, dummies. Hey, dummy. The reason that leverage was tempting was that it was cross-map every survivor. That was the appeal. You were able to get a cross-map healing reduction for 30 seconds. That got progressively worse as the game went up. Now again, leverage used to gain strength as much as the match went on. This made leverage ineffective early on, often only becoming effective when the match was nearly won already. We have reworked it due to be much simpler and provide consistent value. Now discourages from healing directly under hook. Oh, you mean the play you want them to do? You mean the play that if they do it, they suck? Unless they will make it, of course. Or there's two of them there. You mean the play you want them to do? Heal directly under the hook? With reduced healing speed? Why release a perk like that? Bruh. Like, it only works on the one guy. When a survivor performs an unhook, their healing speed's reduced for 50% for 30 seconds. That's bad. It's only on one guy, not cross-map anymore. So you can't affect the whole team with it. Number two, you want them to do that play. You want them to heal under the hook. That's what you want them to do. You can come back and intercept them if you were proxy camping. So if the guy has leverage and then it's like, oh, the guy has leverage, I'm just gonna run away now. We're not gonna do that play. Oh, well now leverage just flew in your own fucking face. That's not good, lads. That's bad. That's bad. And then to make it even worse, you're tunneling anyway. That's the problem. That's the problem. The meta is slugging and camping and camping. No, camping's dead. The meta is right now, but if you're not doing endgame, if you are doing endgame, it's tunneling. Tunneling is the best thing you can do right now. So why do you care what the guy, if you're there to smack him off hook, the perk ain't doing anything for you. At least if, in the previous version, if you could throw him on a hook, and then even if you were tunneling, if somebody was healing, the perk got you some value, even in tunnel builds. That's very disappointing, because that perk could have been usable if they gave it, a reduction, if they gave it a fucking increase in... The perk would have been better if they flipped it, to have 50% at the beginning of the match, and then as you fucking hooked people, it went down in value. It would be better if they flipped it around. Or gave it that duration increase, which is what I thought they were going to do. No, this perk sucks. What I actually had hope for. This is a nerf. Which is funny, because we thought it was going to be above. That's a nerf right there. That's a nerf. That perk sucks. Trash. Thwack. I'm going to thwack off, bro. This sucks. Thwack now starts with 3 tokens. Gain 1 token upon hooking a survivor when breaking a pallet or breakable wall. Consume 1 token and cause survivors within 24 meters to scream and reveal their location for 5 seconds. Why? I'm assuming you'll get a little scream bubble, but Thwack used to only activate once per hook, leading it to often being wasted. By introducing tokens, the killer can store these for later and potentially use it for more than once a chase. Oh, storing it, so leaving the pallets up? Why are you doing that? Leaving the pallets up? I mean, I guess coup de grace is good right now, so that allows you to place some more tiles. But it's what are you gonna do after you get the coup de grace down? Leave the pallet up? Oh, I want some thwack value later in the math. And it's not even cross map. It's not even cross map. If it was a cross map, it would be a little more usable. But that ain't you could leave a pallet up, get it down, go hook somebody, and then kick the pallet and then get a fucking cross map reveal. That would be okay. No, this sucks. This doesn't do anything for you, bro. I guess you could counter somebody who has a flashbang if you kick a pallet, but just run infectious. That doesn't do anything for you, bro. You see what I mean about how this shit's not created equal? It's not. They don't actually think what would be good as killer. They don't give two fucking shits about what's good as killer. They didn't think about that. That is worthless, bro. That is fucking absolute fucking worthless garbage. Machine learning. The most recently damaged gem becomes compromised. Probably your best buff of the patch right here. Machine learning, again, I said even before that came in, 10% haste and undetectable for 60 seconds, that has potential. So the fact that recently you can shift the compromised gen to the most recently damaged one, kind of how it should work anyway, means you can go kick a gen that's almost done with like eruption or something, and then once that falls, you get that 10% haste. Keep an eye on this one, because if coup de grace is ever nerfed, this could be a potential replacement. This could be your potential sub out when coup de grace is nerfed. I don't think it's going to be good right now, just because, well, I mean, it's going to be alright, but coup de grace is definitely going to be better still right now. Because one gen being done into 2 tokens, into 2 plays, no matter when you want them, that's going to be better. But, that is fucking the best thing that you got this patch. Deathbound! Oh, Deathbound! I only recently remembered that that thing existed, bro. Just sitting there in the parking lot going, I remember when people thought that Deathbound was gonna be good, bro. You know what's really funny about this perk? When Pyramid Head came out, people said that was gonna be his best one. People were like actually hyped for Deathbound. I mean, I wasn't, because I knew it was shit as soon as I read it. But people were like, oh my god, Deathbound! It's gonna be good, bro! Let me explain to you the inherent flaw of Deathbound. The heal went. The heal got off. That's the problem. The heal, the perk should be, as soon as the heal starts, the perk screams and becomes oblivious. That's what it should be. That's what it should be. Because then you could get over there and realistically stop the heal. And then it could like have a cooldown. The fact that it doesn't have a cooldown it shows you it's bad. However, it no longer has a distance requirement or a duration, and it deactivates when the healer is hooked. So, I mean, it's going to be better than Plaything. Because Plaything's a hex. But at the same time, it's only better than Plaything for, like, giving the Oblivious status effect, I guess. Well, I mean, once the heal is off, at least, because they can't get it off through a hex. But at the same time, I mean, it's not the worst thing I've ever read, but, like, you know how strong Swift is. That's not going to help you beat Swift, bro. That's not going to help you deal with the general game imbalance. Are we getting some base changes? I mean, probably fucking not. Because we never get any base changes. The disparity between the 2 roles is too big. This perk might be a little cute if the roles were a little more in line, but the problem is you need 4 Band-Aid perks to deal with the game's balance. It's been like that for a while, but it's getting bad again. It's getting bad again. Because of how weak Killer is. Where you need to slap on 4 perks to just help you play. Like, if you had 8 perk options, like, maybe, but like, if Killer ever got even a 5th slot, survivors would go up to Behavior HQ and chuck rocks at it. Like, so that's not happening. Terrible, bro. I mean, it's meh. It's mid. Zacian Tactics, the worst killer perk in the game right now, is actually getting a rework. When survivors were within 6 meters of a dropped pallet, there's that dropped pallet again. Within 16 meters of your location, their aura is revealed for 10 seconds. What the hell is that supposed to do, bro? You can't even track people with it across the map, which is what that's the best thing it could be usable for. Is like if you leave a pallet up, you get a free aura reveal on somebody. That is like the best thing you could do with it. But it's like a niche chase perk. And again, why are you leaving pallets up? Why are you leaving pallets up, bro? Get their aura for 10 seconds? I mean, it's like, well, Rosie, you could get some downs with it. Just run coup de grace. Just bring coup de grace, bro. You don't need cheeky aura reveal bullshit at dropped pallets to get downs, bro. Even then, some of those pallets are so good that a 10-second aura reveal ain't gonna fucking do anything, bro. Presumably, you get their aura reveal after they pre-drop, but again, what's that supposed to do for you, bro? You're gonna see their aura as they're pre-dropping and holding W on you. Like, what? What? And now again, you might have just said,
But Rosie, earlier in the stream you said that holding W isn't even as good anymore, man.
I mean, yeah, it's technically not because there's other killers in the game there's more stuff in the game to check it, but not everything in the game checks it. So, if you're playing against a clown or a Michael Myers, where the fuck are his buffs, by the way? Ghostface, Freddy, like, holding W still works against their bitch asses, so, like, just know the matchup. It's just, you're gonna play the down palette, again, coup de grace, bro. Oh, Dead Man Switch! Oh! Now applies only to the first survivors who stops repairing a gen. The first survivor that stops repairing a gen. Increase the duration to 50 seconds to compensate. Dead Man Switch provides a powerful effect but can sometimes get out of hand when combined with other perks. We've changed it to only activate on the first survivor to stop repairing and increase the duration to compensate. Now, they did give you an increased duration to like 50 seconds, so presumably in a 3-gen situation, this actually could be better than it was previously. In like a 3-gen situation, if they're only like hitting 1, this could actually be better. So I don't think the perk is fucking trash and fucking destroyed, totally dead. But it's frustrating to see that get toned down. It's because like it's not going to help you in that. It's not going to help you as much in the rest of the match anymore. You do get 50 seconds, so like. I will test it. I will test it with Scourge Hook. But it's just like, I read that just like, come on, man. What the fuck are we doing? Nerfing Dead Man Switch, bro. You're going to get less Dead Mans in the match overall now. Less pressure. Those mid-gens are going to fall even quicker now. Bad. That's bad, bro. Maybe it'll have better synergy with Deadlock now, I guess. Maybe that's the only good thing that can come out of it. But that's just a rough change to read right there. Now, again, I subbed it back out for Eruption because, again, blockage isn't very good. And I did find that 30 seconds low-key to not be the most. It's just not that long of a duration. But, like, so again, I ended up subbing it out. But, like, maybe in those endgame situations it will be better out. It will have better synergy with Eruption now. It will have better synergy with Eruption because you can go kick more gens. So, like, again, it's not a horrible fucking change, I guess. It could have been a lot worse. It could have been worse. But it's just still very frustrating to read a nerf like that when the game is really fucking bad. So, just to re-fucking go over everything. In this patch, killers, slugging has been nerfed, tunneling has been nerfed, and your 4v1 pressure has been nerfed. The 3 critical ways you win Dead by Daylight are nerfed. Killer was nerfed in every major category in this patch. And you still think MMR is being used for data. It was night and day. Go read a Patrick update. Nothing close to this. Blood Echo. Blood Echo no longer has a cooldown, reduced duration to 30 seconds. Blood Echo previously had a cooldown, felt unnecessary since the requirement of hooking a survivor spaced itself out between activations. This has been removed, but we still reduced the duration to compensate. Of course we did. Again, like we said though, exhaustion is less in demand because of the fact that Dead Hard is destroyed. Ugh. It is less in demand now, so the perk isn't as good anymore. But, I mean, maybe it could check Blood Rush or something. Not really, though. Because it's an anti-tunnel perk. So it doesn't really even do that. Like, I don't know, dude. There's no exhaustion perk that's out of control right now. If anything, this duration should be increased to help you with your chases. But again, you don't really... You need coup de grace, bro. Coup de grace is how you down people now. Crowd control. Oh boy, what'd they do to it? The last 5 vaults which survivors rush ball are blocked by the entity until the totem is cleansed. It isn't my suggestion of making every vault a vault over, but it is in that niche. And there's precedence to flip that number if this isn't good enough. They have moved this perk in the right direction. It's still going to be like, I guess. It could be interesting to try in Hex builds. Like, again, I still think it could be interesting. Having having a lot of these windows permanently clogged could help you in these Hex builds. Because Hex builds are super weak because a lot of them don't do anything at the start of the game. So, Crowd control, ruin, undying, pentimento. That could be cute. Crowd control, ruin, undying, pentimento. That could be something to try. I don't think I don't think pentimento is good with like we like that Dracula hex. That Dracula hex is ass. It fucking sucks, dude. A lot of those hexes just don't. A lot of those most passive hexes don't do anything. You need them. You need the hexes to have effects so you can fucking do something with them. Predator. When the survivor escapes a chase, reveal their aura for 6 seconds. This perk then goes on cooldown for 40 seconds. Probably your second best perk of the chapter. The weird thing about this perk is that a lot of the scratch marks, not the scratch marks, Jesus, the chase mechanic is awkward, and sometimes you can like be chasing them, and the chase mechanic isn't going off. So like there will be some really weird procs with this. Where you could, it is aura reveal, but so like this could be interesting. Again, I don't think it's gonna be good in your build. It's like replacing coup, like it's in a chase niche, so it'd be replacing coup de grace rather than any slowdown option you have. So again, I think it's not gonna be meta, of course, but like this could be interesting. It's gonna be good on the nurse because the nurse can the blight. It could be good on the blight as well. Chucky could use it. It's kind of like rat poison for Chucky. No, Dracula can't really use it. I guess the wolf form could kind of use it. There's some killers in the game that could run. The Pyramid Head, maybe? No. I mean, maybe if he gets one of those awkward things at the shack, he could try it. Killers can use this. Again, this is usable. It's not like meta or even like good particularly. It's like mid to high tier perk. But, like, that doesn't help you with the core game imbalance. That's the problem. I would be liking this perk a lot more if the game was a little more even. It's just not even right now. And those are all the killer perks. As you can see, the killers are frustrated, and rightfully so. Not a whole lot was given to you here. The worst thing being that you actually were nerfed in the Dead Man switch. Machine learning and Predator could be interesting though. Could be worth trying. And I'm gonna still test Dead Man's out so you can see what that looks like. But holy shit, bro. These were not done evenly. Not done evenly, bro. We've already went over some of the bonkers survivor shit that you can do with that. And especially when Swifts can really use a lot of that fucking garbage. Another Swift buff. Swift just got even stronger. It's insane, bro. And you got nothing to really check them. Killer updates. Oh boy, we got 4. DC Merchant. Oh boy.
Rosie, man! The DC Merchant isn't getting a nerf, man! It's gonna be a rework! They're gonna rework the DC Merchant!
Yeah. How'd that work out for everybody? I'm starting to talk about how all these 4 killer changes look like nerfs, and fucking DC Merchant, I was told in my comment section, was getting a rework. This ain't no fucking rework, bruh. This is nerf. Capital N-E-R-F. Nerf. This is a Freddy nerf. That's what somebody coined it as. Decreased hindered penalty when scanned to 5% when it was 10. Chopped it in half. Skull Merchant no longer gains haste when scanning survivors. So it doesn't say anything about the claw traps. So presumably once you have a claw trap, she still gets it. But less haste. Okay, that's a kick in the lethality. These 2 effects combine to create a huge speed difference between the killer and the survivor. We removed the one and toned the other down to a fair level. Fairer. Fair my ass, bro. If you cared about what was fair, fucking developers, a lot of this shit wouldn't be complaining about would have been fixed already. Reduce the number of drone scan lines to 1 was 2. That's effectively half your drone scan radius. Drones are now always in an active state. Drone scan lines are now invisible beyond 16 meters. Being unable to see drone scan lines made them very difficult to play around. Scan lines will now always be visible when nearby and invisible when out of range. Additionally, we have reduced the number of scan lines per drone, allowing for more counterplay. DC Merchant is fucked. She's fucked. This sucks. She is going to be really bad. This sucks. She's getting less lethal. Her pressure's getting worse. Everything about her just fucking blows a donkey's dick now. She is going to be fucking awful. Not being said, I don't think anybody in our space on this channel is her biggest fan. Oh my god, we lost a scan line. We feel so bad for you. No, you're not gonna ever hear me really have sympathy for this character. Daddy's princess, bro. Welcome to the real world, skank. You can't just post pictures of your butt anymore and people like it all on social media. And then you get your ass licked by everybody. Welcome to the real world. Get a job, bitch. Get a fucking job. Go out into the real world. Go work a little bit for your shit. That being said, though, I think their best strategy with her, I don't think they're done with her yet. But for right now, let's get her in this state and leave her there. I think we're all done with her. I'm done talking about her. She's awful. She was awful since the day she came out. I want her to come in this state and leave her. Leave her. Maybe adjust a couple things in the PTB if things aren't working. Maybe even buff her a little bit. But overall, let the character stay bad for about a year. Then we can take another look at her. I think everybody is done with her. I'm done talking about her. Done talking about what's good for her. Just nerf her, make her bad. We can revisit her later. We're done with her. Let's buff Myers and Freddy and some of these, and then we'll come back to her later. Don't care that she's bad. We all know she's gonna be bad. Leave her there for a little bit. She might become a pet project of mine a little bit later in this new version. Billy got hit harder than I thought he was going to at first. However, even I have to admit that Overdrive is kind of fucking nuts. So it's not like these changes aren't warranted. Like, in terms of killer performance, he's actually really fucking good right now. So they behaviored him as they usually do. Decreased time before overdrive starts to dissipate to 8 seconds was 15. Decreased overdrive movement speed to 11 was 13. Decreased overdrive charges gained while revving and sprinting to 1.5 was 2. Increased chainsaw missed attack cooldown to 2.7 was 2.5. Been great seeing Billy rise in popularity. Now that he's had time to settle, we've identified a few aspects of Overdrive that can use fine-tuning. Overdrive intended to kick in very frequently, staying active for a large portion of the match. These changes will make the Overdrive mechanic a little less common, provide a little less of a speed boost when it is active. We've increased the missed attack cooldown slightly to make it harder to follow up a missed chainsaw with a basic attack. Again, Billy is really, really, really good right now. I can't stress that enough. Some people think he's actually better than the nurses right now, which is crazy to even say. But this character is really, really good. And once you hit a certain tier of power, which I kind of believe he's hit at this point, except on certain maps, it's hard for me to feel bad for you when you actually do get a nerf. So I'm not gonna rage and bitch about this or anything. I do, however, want them to keep a close eye on this, because again, we just fixed him. If he is bad again, or if I dare say, if he even falls 2 tiers, I think they should clean this up a little bit. I would have went with, I think they hit him just a little too hard, a little harder than I would have. I would have decreased 15 down to 10. The 11.5, that's a clunky number. I would have just made that 12 to start with, and then 1.5, that's fine. And then the chainsaw cooldown, I would have left alone. That's what I would have done for a Billy nerf. But they obviously are seeing that he's really good right now, and so they're doing what they always do. I think he will survive, but that being said, we'll see in the PTB. Because these changes, they're changes that, you can't really predict how they're going to be on paper. You have to actually go in there and feel the changes. So, more on that on my streams, I'm sure. Twins. Slap on the wrist. This was not nearly as bad as I was worried about. This is not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought this was going to be pure fucking destruction and pure fucking evisceration. That is not what this is. Increased Victor's cooldown when crushed to 20 seconds was 15. And then increase the cooldown after Victor downs a survivor to 3.2 was 2.7. That's another half a second. Following the update earlier this year, Twins saw a sharp increase in lethality, which I mean, Victor was already fucking broken, and they made him even more broken. To keep them in check, we have increased how long it takes for Victor to recover after downing a survivor. We have also slightly increased how long it takes for Victor to become available after being crushed by a survivor to make it more impactful when a survivor manages to pull it off. Now, I wanted to wait a little bit more on the slug commentary here, because again, I'm going to talk a little bit more about We're Gonna Live Forever here as well. The way that the slug shit really works right now, because again, I think they also think that We're Gonna Live Forever is also going to check them, which again, it's true that that can cause some Victor to get crushed sometimes, but especially since again, slugging in general, the way that this character and killer in general right now is slugging, they don't really want. I mean, it's not bad to get that those interactions. Twins can ironically get hit by We're Gonna Live Forever a little bit more than most killers just because Victor can't pick up a survivor. But slugging and how it works right now is you want to make sure you're converting your slugs to hooks. Especially now that We're Gonna Live Forever is in the game. Because you don't want to get burned by that shit. Like, the correct play as killer I'm finding is to slug until you find an appropriate window to hook somebody. When a slug play opens up, you don't want to just keep slugging unless you know that you won already with it. Like, you have 2 or 3 slugs and you're going for the win or something like that. But you want to make sure, if you just, like, have one guy down and then there's another one that you're about to down, make sure you're stopping to hook. And so, like, I don't think these changes are going to, like, kill them, obviously. I think you're going to feel the second one. I mean, you're going to feel the first one, too. But that second one there, because the last time this was changed, I believe it was, like, 2.2 seconds, right? 2.2, 2.3. They've hit this before. And I said that it wasn't going to do anything to them correctly. Like, that was a correct assessment. However, I was shocked at how much I felt that. I was shocked about how much that impacted. Now, you can't stack double speed to kind of, like, get away from them, which I think is probably going to be their meta now, especially since Toy Sword was made base at the top of the year. Like, effects of Toy Sword were made base. Double speed on them is probably meta right now anyway. So, like, you could still potentially dot dip after you down somebody with them. But I still think you're going to get kicked in situations you wouldn't get kicked, and that's going to affect you. However, if you're chasing people one at a time and stuff, like, I don't think, again, this was a slap on the wrist. This was a slap on the wrist. I was worried that they were going to come back for this killer with a vengeance. They did not do that. I think they learned their lesson from their atrocious rework. And so they just kind of gave them some small nerfs to kind of keep them in check a little bit. They're still going to be really good. So, Charlotte and Victor were spared, thankfully. Unknown. Another one I was worried about. However, this was their most honest assessment, and the only killer to actually get a slight buff as well. Change. Movement speed now decreases sooner when charging your power. And that's because they wanted to, like, make it more punishing when you try to set up a fucking hallucination. Because, again, you can, like, charge your power to stop your hallucinations from automatically being placed. Right? So they make it more punishing if you're in chase and doing that. Increase teleport recovery speed by 15%. That's the add-on that lets you, like, recover from your teleports faster. So, like, they made that one base a little bit, which I don't even think I used that anyway, so maybe I do, I forget. And adjustments to blurry photo and vanishing box and improved visual audio feedback when using UVX, and they added a little bit more to his HUD to display teleport cooldown and hallucination spawn time. Good, needed changes there on the HUD. We tend to revisit killers a few months after they release to see if they need any balance changes. Turns out Unknown is already in a pretty good spot and is well liked by players, so that makes our job easy this time around. Yes, that's the reason I was fucking upset that this killer was even on this list, because he didn't really need much. Tapping the power button can postpone a hallucination from spawning, but to a survivor, it appears as if you're about to launch GBX. This forces survivors to constantly dodge and lose distance without slowing down the killer. We have reduced the window before the killer slows down while charging their power. This will make it harder for the killer to tap the power button without slowing down while focusing on a chase. Stupid change, but whatever. It could have been a lot worse. Tapping the power button... Oh, I just read that. Notice that the blurry photo add-on is a fan favorite, so we've incorporated part of its effect into the base kit and toned it down to compensate. This allows more freedom to experiment with other add-ons without missing out. We've also toned down the vanishing box add-on, which was stronger side, by adding to a trade-off of hallucination spawn time. So they kind of... By adding a trade-off increase to its hallucination spawn time. I don't think I read that anyway. And then they've improved the UVX's shit that doesn't affect balance, but make it clear to the unknown how you apply weaken, whatever. So there you fucking go. Sucks. My assessment overall is that this fucking sucks. This is terrible, and I'm not a fan. This is a very bad set of changes, bro. The survivors got much. They're gonna be much more powerful now because they were given fucking anti-tunnel, anti-slug, and your 4v1 pressure was nerfed, except in a 3-gen situation. Trash. This update blows dick, bro. There's the rosy take on it, bro. So, I'm getting the fucking hell out of here. This shit pisses me right the fuck off. I'm not even gonna lie to anybody. We're gonna live forever is irritating. But at least, again, if like you can make sure you be stopping to like take the hooks. Like slug one person, then hook somebody, you'll get burned by that. Not as much. That's all I gotta say though, lads. I'm getting the hell out of here. GG's.